Hello adventurers, it is I, Soulst Venture, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today is Tabletop RPG Tuesday, and we are going to be continuing my adventure with Morgwen, Graff, and Selene in our Cairn campaign of Vinekin's Revenge. So I don't have a little snippet just because the last part, which was, I believe, part 12? So I don't have a snippet because the last part, part 12, was a little short. And so just to give you a little recap of what happened, our group of adventurers, they made it out of the caves here, and they were able to kidnap and slay some bandits, and they are now in the Arcane School grounds of Evervale. And so kind of the plan at the moment is they want to get the Dean's attention here, because we have Kevin, the Vinekin. He is kind of going crazy right now in the town of Thornmere. And so Morgwen has an idea that she can probably, if she can try to convince the Dean to give her some reinforcements to help calm down Kevin and kind of dissipate some of the tension and the violence going on in the town between the mayor, along with his townspeople, against Kevin and the Wildborn Chapel. So they are going to try to think of a plan to get the Dean's attention. And so if you remember in part probably like 2 or 3, something like that, we have Micah. And Micah over here, Micah is a wizard in training. And this wizard, Micah, she is known for stealing books at the Arcane Library. And of course, as the adventurers were kind of exploring the area, they do see Micah in the library, kind of in the middle of trying to steal some books. And so the party is going to try to come up with a plan to kidnap Micah and present Micah as a little, I guess, token of gratitude to the Dean, to see if that could convince the Dean to help the group of adventurers out. So that is where we're at. So we are now going into part 13, which is crazy. So I will have a blog update for part 12 and 13 and kind of combine the two, so it'll be a little lengthier than what I was originally thinking there. But yeah, so I guess we will get started. Okay, so I do want to get a little art seat over here. So I'm going to take all of this actually, and then we'll move this over, and I do want to draw out the layout of what I think the library looks like. So how I'm kind of picturing this actually is we have, let's see here. So for the library, so we have an entrance over here. All right. And then we have some, I'm thinking of like side rooms over here. There we go. Okay, so there we go. So I'm kind of thinking that in this library we have rows of books here. And we have another row of books, another row of books, and then over here, this could be some tables here, and then this can be kind of like the checkout area or something. And so this is the Arcane Library. Alright, so this is kind of how I am picturing it. And then we have Micah over here. I will say this is area 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I will roll a 1d4 and see. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Okay, so Micah is over here in this area. Alright, so Micah's over there in that area. We have Kevin over here, and he is busy in Thornmere, kind of adding to the chaos right now. And so our group of adventurers, they're probably going to be coming in from the entrance here. So there's only one way in and out. So they're over here. Okay, so now we have set the scene. So these guys are kind of talking about how they will kind of, I guess, kidnap Micah. And in this grand arcane library, there are large windows, and there's like thorns that are kind of around the building walls and such. And in passing, Morgwen notices Micah in the large window, and she immediately thought of that plan to kidnap Micah and hopefully use that as kind of leverage to get the Arcane Dean to chat with the party of adventurers right now. So we are going to be actually continuing this development plotline theme, which is mystery. And so we have here vulnerability exploited. So meaning in this particular scene, they are going to be kind of uncovering the secret of the school and how the school is actually tied to Kevin and the Wildborn Chapel. And so I think what they are going to do is, I almost think that Morgwen would want to try to split the party. So Morgwen and Graff will be working together, and Morgwen's going to ask Selene if she could find any books pertaining to the connection between the school and the Wildborn Chapel. So Morgwen will probably tell Selene, okay, this is the plan. Graff and I are going to try to kidnap Micah over here, and you are going to be figuring out if you can find any books talking about the connection between the school and Kevin and the Wildborn Chapel religion here. So Selene will be going in first. So she's going to go in first, and she is going to search. So I think she's just going to search each kind of section here. So I do want to see in this section, well, what she finds. So I think I'm going to roleplay Selene first, and then I will roleplay eventually Morgwen and Graff here. So Selene is going to be doing her research, and we will see if she finds anything. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll on maybe cryptic message here. So we'll see. Let's see what Selene finds over here. So we're going to roll a D100 and see. Okay, so we got 19 and 19 danger. Okay, interesting. So all right here, danger. Okay, so something about danger in that section. And what else? We'll roll once more. We can add on to that interpretation. So we got 50 intrigues. Okay, so we have danger. We have the word intrigues. I don't think that would relate too much to the connection between Kevin and the Wildborn Chapel. I'm actually interpreting this as perhaps books about maybe more like darker magic. So nothing pertaining to like the history of the Wildborn Chapel. So I think she's going to continue on. We'll see what's over here in this section. So she's going to search in there. Let's see what she finds. Okay, so we have here 17. So something creepy. Okay. Creepy, and we have 54. Legend. Okay, creepy legend. I am interpreting this as potentially history between the Wildborn Church and, or the Wildborn Chapel and Kevin. So I have a feeling that this will be more about the history and link between the school and Kevin here. So I'm going to ask the fate chart if that is correct. So I'm going to ask the fate chart how likely, and I feel like it's going to be 50-50 over here. So let's see. We shall ask. Okay, so it says here. So we got 79. Okay, so no. So there is some text about the history of Wildborn Chapel and some information about the school itself, but there doesn't seem to be books about the connection between the two. Okay, so I guess she will move on then. So she will go over to this section and she will see what is in that section of the library. I am actually kind of curious, so we'll use this table here. So we'll do that again and see. Okay, so we got 60. 60, okay, so we got the word messy. Okay, so I'm assuming it's a very unorganized section. And we got 01, abandoned. Okay. So, I will say, Selene finds this section a little odd. So this section seems to be questionable. There seems to be no organization, a lot of random books here. So I'm kind of wondering if there is like a secret panel or section that she can look for in this area that would probably uncover the history between Kevin and the school. Like, I'm wondering if it's like hidden information or something. So I think she will try to search and find if there's anything in that section that could be uncovered. And maybe there's like, I don't know, maybe like a hidden book or latch or something that can open up to another section of the bookshelf that has hidden books or something that's not easily accessible. So we'll see. So let's ask the fate chart here if there's like a hidden panel. Ooh, that is a 29. Okay, so I was thinking 50-50, so that is definitely a yes there. So that means Selene over here finds a secret panel. So she finds this secret panel. So she opens up the latch, and I'm going to ask the fate chart now. So I'm assuming it's going to be very likely at this point. So I'm thinking over here, very likely that she will find that hidden information about the school and Kevin. Okay, so we said very likely. So yes, so 73. So that is a yes. So Selene found a book that is covering all about the history and link between Wildborn Chapel and Kevin. All right, so I'm going to write this down really quick. So Selene finds I'll just say like a historical document. And let's see, what is this document all about? I do want to see what the link is. So we will roll, let's see. I do want to see if this would be under, oh, maybe like legends or something. So I'm gonna roll on this table actually, and we'll see what pops up here. Okay, so we got a 63 leadership. Okay, so I will say Kevin actually leads the Arcane School. So maybe the dean and Kevin are actually working together. So that is how I am interpreting it. Okay, so as in the middle of Selene's search, Graff and Morgwen now are trying to figure out how to corner and kidnap Micah over here. So now that we have role-played Selene's part, now we're going to play Morgwen and Graff. So I think Morgwen's actually going to look around her surroundings and see if there are other students around and present. And so, let's see. So this was early in the morning. So I'll probably say this is like what? Say it's like 8 a.m. and students are actually going to like classes at this point. So let's see, how likely are students kind of hanging around in the library? I'll probably say unlikely, because that would be the perfect time for Micah to sneak in and try to steal some books without getting too much attention, bringing too much attention to herself. So we will roll to see if there are students around. 78. Okay, yeah, so that is a complete no. Yep, okay, great. So there are no students around, so I guess this would be perfect for Micah and Graff. So I think, Micah and Graff, for Morgwen and Graff to move in and kidnap Micah over here. So I think what Morgan's going to do is, I think she's going to tell Graff to distract Micah over here. So she's going to tell him, just make small talk and keep her distracted. So I think what he's going to do, he's going to play off as like a clumsy old man. So he is looking at some books, he drops a couple, and he asks Micah for some help to pick up some of those books. And Morgwen's going to come around behind Micah over here. So let's see, does Micah notice at all Morgwen behind her? So I'm going to say very, very unlikely over here. Yeah, so I'm going to say very, very unlikely. So what is that? A 49. Okay, yeah, so that is a no. So she doesn't notice Morgwen behind her. Okay, so this is now Morgwen's time to see if she can. I guess she does have. Let's see. I wonder if she has a. She doesn't have a bag on her because she used that on the bandit. So I think she's just gonna try to just take her sword, put it towards her Micah's throat, and just put her hands on Micah's mouth there. So yeah, okay. Yeah, so I think that's what we're gonna do here. So we are gonna be doing a dex check. Because yeah, I feel like it is a little risky here, but she is at an advantage because Micah doesn't notice her at all. So she's gonna try to do a stealthy kind of move over here. So let's see what she gets. Okay, that was a 15 and a 1. Okay, perfect. Okay, that is a success. So she was able to sneak up on Micah and grab her. And Micah is definitely frightened over here. And now, I think what they are going to do is, I wonder if there is maybe like a separate room or something. I wonder if Graff can see if there's like a separate room they can like go to. So let's see. Yeah, we will ask the fate chart if there's like a little study room or something that they can hide in for the moment. 29. Okay, yes, perfect. So that is a yes, and you know what? We'll just draw a little room here. So, okay, so we have a little room here, and this will be like a little study room that they will hide in. Okay, so now Micah and Graff, they were able to find a study room and keep her in there. And now Selene has the book that she found, and she's going to try to find these guys and catch up with the group here. Okay, so now I'm going to put some notes here that for Morgwen, it was a success to kidnap Micah here. Okay, great. Micah is a wizard in training. Morgwen is probably not intimidated by her use of magic, I guess. And so we are going to interrogate Micah over here. And we will see if Micah knows anything about Thornmere. So yeah, okay. I'm going to ask the fate chart. So I'll just say it's a 50-50. Okay, 91. No. Okay. So Morgan's probably just gonna tell Micah, do you have any idea what's going on in Thornmere? And Micah saying, what? No. Why is Thornmere like my business? I don't even really want to go there anymore. And she's saying how I found like a lot of good books and I want to just study to become a really good wizard. And you are interrupting my process here of my studies. And I'd say Morgan's probably trying to convince Micah here, well, you should care because Thornmere is in trouble and who knows what could happen to Thornmere, what could happen to the Arcane School. And Micah's probably saying, well, like, why would I care? I don't even care about like Thornmere or Kevin or whatever. You know what? I also wonder if Micah's also just salty because Salo and Morgwen, they actually stole a wagon from her when they were trying to run away from the bandits that were chasing them down. And so, oh, you know what? Morgwen will probably say, you know, your horse and wagon are waiting for you in Thornmere. That's probably what she's going to say to Micah here. And let's see if she was able to convince her. So we are going to be doing a that'll be a willpower. So we'll do a will check here to kind of see if that was good. Ooh, yes. Okay, so that was a success. So Micah buys into that and she's saying, no, not my horse, not my wagon. And she says, yep, we can give that back to you if you help us and cooperate. And we want to take you to the Dean of Magic, and we're trying to find reinforcements to help us stop Kevin here from attacking Thornmere. Okay, so she really loves her horse. She has no idea, but her horse and her wagon are actually somewhere in the forest, but probably safe. But okay, so Micah is probably going to agree. So she's going to agree and just follow Morgwen's instructions here. So she's saying, okay, yes, I will do anything as long as I'm able to see my horse and get back my wagon. And she says, yes, so you are going to help us save Thornmere. And Micah will agree to that. So Micah will now cooperate, and she is going to be acting as like the party's hostage here. So Micah agrees with the plan. So I'll just say that. So Micah, put a check there, agrees to the plan. Okay, so she agrees to the plan, and Morgan really hopes that presenting Micah will be a good way to get the dean's attention here. Okay, and now, as that is now figured out, Selene over here is going to share with the group of adventurers that Kevin is actually the lead of the Arcane School. So Kevin appointed the Arcane Dean. So it basically was kind of like another plan to gain Arteris's favor and gain more disciples and such. So he was using Wildborn Chapel and using the Arcane School to get people to eventually convert and follow him and join this cult. So I think with knowing that information, it's almost like I think Morgan has to kind of come up with a different kind of way to convince the dean that she is on the dean's side, and she's probably going to try to tell the dean that if anything, they can try to convert all of Thornmere to follow and submit and surrender to Kevin, but not through violence. So I think Morgan's going to try to tell the dean if the dean can, I guess, like talk with like Kevin and see. So yeah, so I think what's going to happen here is I think these three, well, Selene is kind of a follower of the church, so I think Morgan's going to tell Selene to actually talk to the dean to convince her, because Selene is a member of the chapel. So I think she's going to tell her and see if she can convince the dean there. So yeah, I think that is what's going to happen next. So they were able to capture Micah, and Micah is obedient and she's not fooling around because she wants to see her horse. Okay, so our adventurers are ready to meet the dean. So now we are going to try to draw out, I guess, the school office building where the dean is. So I'm kind of assuming that this would be a smaller building. So okay. All right, so let's see. So we are going to draw, I'm kind of picturing like another grand door here, and then it opens up into this building here. So we have maybe like the dean's office here. And we have kind of the front desk area, and then there's probably like tables over here, and then I don't know, maybe like bookshelves here. Okay, cool. And this building is also intertwined with the vines here. There we go. Okay, so I think in this scene we are actually going to have Selene over here guide us, since she is the member of the Wildborn Chapel, so she can probably present herself in a more formal and trusting way, since the dean is working with Kevin here. Okay, so we will have the dean over here in the office, and then we will have the front desk guy over there. Okay, cool. So now we are ready to chat with the dean now. Okay, so now they're going to chat with the dean, and Selene is kind of leading this conversation. Okay, so we have Selene over here, and the group is following closely behind her, and she's saying, we need to chat with the dean ASAP. And the front desk person, I guess I'll just call him like a the office clerk or something. So the office clerk is probably saying, and what is the rush with such a request? Because our dean is quite busy, you know. And Selene's probably going to say, we have found the library criminal here, and this is Micah. And then the front desk guy is probably going to say, oh yes, I know exactly who you're talking about. She has been a problem for our school, and we're actually missing quite a few books because of this person. Thank you for catching her. And then she says, yes, but we would like to show the dean ourselves and show her the good thing that we have done for you and the school. And so I think now the front desk guy, knowing that Micah was very hard to capture, I guess, is probably going to say, okay, yep, I will see if the dean is available. So he's going to chat with the dean and see. I'm going to say it's very likely at this point because the dean does hate Micah, so that probably will catch the dean's attention. Yes, so 36, because I was thinking a 50-50, so perfect. And the dean will come out of the office and chat with them. All right. Ah, so you have captured Micah, I see. And then Micah's probably embarrassed. And now Selene is going to tell the dean here that there is news from Thornmere that the Wildborn Chapel, they have successfully raided the town. And Kevin is making his move, trying to get the town to convert and follow in his steps to obey and worship not just him, but Arteris, Mother Nature. And the dean is probably looking at Selene here, very, very pleased to hear that she is a Wildborn follower as well, a follower for Kevin. And the dean will probably say, yes, that is true. I do see that we are making progress in following in Kevin's footsteps here. And then Selene will probably say, I know, but don't you think that violence is not the answer to get these people to follow him? Because now they are just, instead of respecting Kevin, they are just now simply fearful. And the dean is probably saying, no, he is not a violent person, no, Kevin does not believe in violence, only when violence is necessary. And she's probably looking at Selene, kind of questioning her of like, how dare you question Kevin's tactics? And I think Morgwen will actually kind of step in here and say that we truly think that there is another way to convert the townspeople, and that Thornmere and the chapel can work together. And so I feel like now the dean, let's see if she's able to be convinced that instead of just listening to Kevin and going with violence, if there is another way to convert the town. So I think with a willpower check, I think this will be an advantage for Morgwen since her sister is also kind of chatting with the dean as well. So let's see. 17, okay. And then 4. Okay, great. So that is a success. Okay. So the dean is saying, you know what, you could be right that there might be another way to get the town to listen to Kevin, and I will have to see if I can speak with Kevin if he allows it. And Morgwen and Selene are probably going to say thank you very much, and then they will also probably ask, is there a faster way to get to Thornmere other than going through the cliffs here and through the forest? So I think that's the next step that they will ask, if I don't know, the dean has like any ideas if there's like a faster way to get to Thornmere. So let me see. I'm gonna ask the fate chart a 50-50 and see. 89. Okay, so there's not a faster way to get to the town. So I guess that is the only way. I wonder if the dean is aware of any secret passages or maybe even like a secret portal or something. Let's see. Okay, so 64, I'm taking that as a no, that there is no secret passages, but I would say that there is some sort of portal, or maybe like a teleportation kind of a thing. So let's see, objects, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna try this. Okay, so we have 54 lethal. Oh, interesting. Okay, so maybe there is a portal. Okay, so the dean is going to say there is no secret passageways or anything that would be a good shortcut, but there is a portal. Yeah, so I think that's what she's going to say. So there is a portal, but it hasn't been used or opened in a long time because it's lethal, and maybe like they had a very bad experience of someone actually dying or something, and so they're wondering if they can risk it. And so yeah, and so I think the dean over here is going to say, I understand the concern, and that, you know, time is ticking as Kevin is making his way through the town, but I will see what I can do to open this portal and make sure that it is safe for all of us to go through, and then we can have a little chat with Kevin. And so yeah, so I think that's what they're gonna do. And I wonder if the portal actually opens up to Wildborn Chapel or something. So 93. Okay, so no, but maybe it's somewhere in Thornmere or maybe the forest. So it doesn't open up. So the portal doesn't open up in the chapel. Let's see if it opens at least to Evervale Hollow, the forest. Okay, so 50. Yeah, so I'm gonna take that as a yes. So this portal is lethal, but it opens up to the Evervale Hollow Forest. So it's probably the stone columns or something. That could probably be the portal, or maybe the holy like pond where Kevin kind of resides. So yeah, so I guess we will see for next time. Okay, so just to recap, they were able to kidnap Micah and convince the dean that there is another way to convert all of Thornmere, and not just through violence. And the dean is aware that there is a portal that she can open up and use to go have a little shortcut to go to Evervale Hollow. And it's the portal will either open up to the stone columns or maybe to that holy pond where Kevin resides. So I think the dean will now take some time to try to figure out if there's a safer way to open up that portal. And yeah, so we will see next time, and we will also see kind of the aftermath of Kevin's violent destruction and how Thornmere looks like now. So, okay, well, it looks like our adventures are making progress to saving the town over here. Okay. All right, well, that is where I'm gonna stop for now. Thank you so much, adventurers, for joining me on this journey as we are navigating Morgwen's story and trying to rescue and save Thornmere. Okay, so I will try to write up a blog. So I think my blog now will be long enough to incorporate part 12 and now part 13 of the story. I can't wait to just keep going and seeing how this resolves. I feel like we're getting near to the end of this adventure. All right, well, anyways, thank you so much, adventurers. Till next time.